No, it's not monitored. So it was set up by Pavel Durov, and Pavel was actually arrested by the French authorities, who said, we're not going to let you go until you give us the keys to the back door telegram. He told them to, take a hike. He was on house arrest for a few weeks or so, and they keep harassing him now, and he won't do it. The next one was Twitter. Now, Twitter in its original incarnation was the big cabal bullhorn. That was the thing that they used to be able to flatten any opposition that came up against the cult, simply through the way Twitter is set up. Elon Musk purchased that thing for 44 billion and essentially turned that cannon on the enemy. So that's exactly what you see going on. And by doing that, of course, what we ended up doing was splintering the media into, I can't remember the last time I even sat down and watched TV. I can't tell you. My wife watches it, we have the mother-in-law now, and they watch all sorts of programs. But this is, again, what's happening. And they can't control it. They have no way of controlling it. So what does the cult do? These people are not going to throw out their hands and surrender. These people are going to go down swinging, let me tell you. And so what they're trying to do now is to simply say, well, what we have to do now is we've got to control all the hate speech and the misogyny and all of the racism, you all racist people, and so we have to monitor and know who's using the platforms. Why? So we can come and arrest them.
I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government
should
control social media.
Yeah.
Spread of hatred and lies online is causing grave harm to our world. Misinformation, disinformation and hate speech are fueling prejudice and violence, exacerbating divisions and conflicts, demonizing minorities, and compromising the integrity of elections.
Large American online platforms have become seas of racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and hate in all its forms. And they're being used by criminals to harm our children. My government will act.
Then we told them freedom of speech threatens freedom of speech.
I'll just say that in terms of UK, strange things are happening over there. They are cracking down, and surprisingly so. And I've spoken to the Prime Minister, and let's see what happens. But it is a little bit different situation. I'm very surprised to see what's happening. Are you talking about the UK in particular, right? Yeah, I'm very surprised to see what's happening. Sad. It's not a good thing. Yeah, please.
We will throw the full force of the law at people. And whether you're in this country committing crimes on the streets or committing crimes from further afield online, we will come after you.
Talk to me about that, because we have seen some high-profile figures whipping up the hatred. You talked about it in there with the officers, in fact, about this being added to by online commentary. I'm even thinking of the likes of Elon Musk getting involved. What are you considering when it comes to dealing with people who are whipping up this kind of behaviour from behind a keyboard, maybe in a different country?
Being a keyboard warrior does not make you safe from the law. You can be guilty of offences of incitement, of stirring up racial hatred. There are numerous terrorist offences regarding the sort of publishing of material. All of those offences are in play if people are provoking hatred and violence on the streets, and we'll come after those individuals just as we will physically confront on the streets the thugs and the obs who are causing the problems for communities.
So here's Monopoly 2026. Home Office. Police time will no longer be wasted investigating legal social media posts, freeing up officers to patrol the streets and tackle real crime. By scrapping non-crime hate incidents, we're balancing the protection of vulnerable communities while respecting free speech. Now I'm going to show you this. Take a look at this. Number one, they're admitting, this is the Home Office are admitting they've been wasting time over non-crime hate incidents where people have been handcuffed. Any idea?
Just for thinking.
Yeah, just for thinking. There's the far right in 1980, here's the far right in 2026. You're hiding memes under the floorboards, aren't you? Listen, I'm a meme lord. I have 65,000 memes. You can call me sir. Yeah, I qualify as a meme lord right now. Let me ask you something. The cult want to rule the world, right? Like some sick Austin Powers film. And in order for them to even do that, they have to project authority. What is the death of authority? It's mockery, isn't it? Do you remember Mock the Week? Do you remember the Punch card? Well, you won't remember the Punch cartoons in the 1800s, but the politicians hated mockery. Why? Because it stripped them of authority, and they're trying all they want to try to project that authority, and here we are, stripping it away from them.
Why has it come to this? Why am I in Plus? Because of something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your social media sites. That's why you've been arrested.
I've got friends who are police officers, they hate this, they absolutely hate it. They take sickies, not go in, because of all of this. So they say this is all coming to an end, but it's really not, because they're on the ropes now. Britain's war on free speech. Think before you post. No, sod off already. If I want to post, I'm going to post. I live in a free country, even if you think you don't. Here's Keir Starmer. Digital ID will not just save us money, it will make us safer on places like X. Digital ID will be eventually used to verify who you are on social media platforms, allowing us to crack down on you if you post hate speech, basically. I don't know about you, this wasn't the Britain that I was born into. These people are criminals. Countries with the most arrests for online comments, we looked at this earlier. So the rebels, they're known as Anons. That's us. Anons. And Anons have got various talents, some of which are making little clips. Here's one. BBC, we specialise in manufacturing disinformation on a scale you couldn't possibly even begin to imagine. We are the mouthpiece of your slave masters. And then you're going to learn about this. Now, the BBC covered for Jimmy Savile for 30 years with the crimes that he committed. There was a journalist who was investigating those crimes. Her name was Jill Dando. Do you remember her? Yeah. Paying for your TV license has never been easier. If you pay by direct debit, you can now pay for your television license in 52 weekly installments, so it's never been this easy to fund paedophilia. 44 billion was not the cost of Twitter, it was the cost of restoring free speech. Those are the two big platforms. We're on Telegram. We've got a very interesting research unit on Telegram. You're free to join it. It's completely free. You just need to have a mobile phone number and a fake name. And you can actually, literally, if anything happens in the world, we get to hear about it in about 5 to 10 minutes, and it gets posted on that stream, and you can contribute to that if you feel that that's something you want to look at doing. Go out there, find stuff that's happening, post it on the stream. My team will take that off, and what we do is we prepare the weekly bulletin that comes out to you on a Friday, and this goes absolutely all over the world. We have that reach. 500,000 UK households rush to cancel BBC TV licence fee. Trump is also suing them for $5 billion because they basically adopted his speech the January 6th event, making out that he was actually encouraging insurrection at that time. And now the BBC is trying to crawl back into favour with the public. Oh, rise of vaccine distrust. Why more of us are questioning jabs? They never did in their entire life. More cuts and emerging with Channel 4. The BBC contemplates its radical future.
We at the BBC urge you to pay for a licence fee. This will help cover some upcoming legal costs and Gary Lineker's ridiculous wages.
Not paying for your licence fee is a serious offence and can even get you the death sentence.
You're going down, scumbag!
Without a licence fee, you'll miss out on great new shows like Doctor Woohoo and a new documentary on how Henry VIII was actually a sexually fluid Chinese man. We know the public are stupid. That's why we lecture you constantly on political and social issues.
If you get a licence fee, you'll have access to even more endless repeats.
There's nothing bloody on.
BBC licence fee, not really worth it, but we'll make you pay anyway. Also check out BritBox so you can pay for the same content all over again.
Mock the week. Climate scam exposed worldwide. This is fascinating. The Bureau of Imaginary Problems, Climate Change Division, the trillions that are being blown of your money on this is just frankly mind-boggling. Now it's interesting because it was, 4 or 5 months ago, Trump walks in to the climate change headquarters, which is the United Nations General Assembly in New York. He walks right in, and this is what he tells them.
Global warming, not happening. You know, it used to be global cooling. If you look back years ago in the 1920s and the 1930s, they said, global cooling will kill the world. We have to do something. Then they said global warming will kill the world, but then it started getting cooler, so now they could just call it climate change, because that way they can't miss climate change. Because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, is climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. No more global warming, no more global cooling. All of these predictions made by the United Nations and many others, often for bad reasons, were wrong. They were made by stupid people that have cost their countries fortunes and given those same countries no chance for success. If you don't get away from this green scam, your country is going to fail.
Straight after that, Bill Gates comes out and admits that he was completely wrong about climate change. Right, so this whole thing is just cracking wide open. And of course, most people don't realize that this was a total setup from the start in terms of, you know, you have to project a worldwide threat to get everybody to go along with it.
And they came up with this incredible document where they actually said we need a new justification for this all-powerful state. So the new excuse is going to be because the environment is going to be harmed and because climate is going to hurt us.
Wait, what? I could not believe what I just heard. Did world leaders really lay out this globalist plan in plain English in a physical book way back in 1991? I went on Amazon, and there it was, the first global revolution, which states, and I quote, "In searching for a common enemy to unite us, we came up with the idea that pollution, the threat of global warming, water shortages, famine, and the like would fit the bill, and therefore, the real enemy is humanity itself."
Wind farms are driving up, your electricity bills amidst off-gamers prices go up by double the expected amount amid Miliband's green drive. You know, let's just have a quick chemistry lesson here. Here is the composition of the atmosphere. Yellow is nitrogen, blue is oxygen, red is argon, green is carbon dioxide in total, and the little white square there you see is the carbon dioxide that's created by humans, of which Britain's version is a tiny pinprick of that. And by the way, who knows that carbon dioxide creates life growth? Yeah. I mean, you go down to these massive, down in Thanet, they've got this incredible glasshouse arrangement. They're commercially grown crops, they're pumping CO2 into that, and it causes the plants to grow prolifically. So the whole thing is nonsense. Yeah, well, the sea levels are rising, really. I mean, here you go. You understand, don't you, that we have 600 million anons worldwide estimated now. So the moment they come out with any of this nonsense, literally in 15 to 20 minutes, it gets killed. And they've got no way of being able to come back at it because they don't have the coverage anymore. It's wild when you see this lot put end to end. Want to slow climate change, stop having babies, only immigrants can reverse America's baby bust. So you see these contradictions going on absolutely all the time. Believe it or not, there have been 41 climate disaster predictions since 1967. Their record so far, 0 to 41. Oh, and as if all that isn't enough, here you have Denmark introducing world's first carbon tax on farting livestock. That's what's killing the planet. Look, these are all trails of cows farting. You know, we're sending these lot out, all this lot gets sent into government and all the rest of it, we're just ripping it. Here's another one. Don't talk to me about climate change while completely ignoring this and all the spraying that's been going on as well. And then you get, I feel sorry for some of these newscasters like Fiona, for instance. Listen to what she's made to say. She's going to make two statements on the clip I'm about to show you. I want you to listen to the second one.
Global efforts to tackle climate change are wildly off track, says the UN, as new data shows that warming gases are accumulating faster than at any time in human existence. Researchers are also worried that forests are losing their ability to soak up carbon, which could be contributing to record levels of warming gas in the atmosphere.
When did that start happening? When did forests suddenly decide to go on strike and not process carbon out of the however million years you think we've been around? I mean, even that's up for grabs. You understand? These people are desperate. They don't know what to do about all of this. So the whole thing is a scam. Next on the list, They're just ripping you off to your face. The scam of taxation, what makes up the cost of a litre of petrol? This is money laundering on a scale that's breathtaking. It really is, when you look at all of the money that goes into this. How angry do you have to be to want to do something about this? Imagine what your life would look like if you didn't have VAT, just as an example, just that one thing alone. Next. A man fleeing war takes his wife and children. A man going to war leaves them behind. By the way, just so you know, mixed in with these are alliance soldiers. So we know absolutely everything about what's going on here. Just having a quick look, see if I can see any children here. No, there's no children. I'm not seeing any ladies there. There's no mum or dad basically in there. Yeah, it's all the same people. All the same people. Replacement migration was never a conspiracy theory. It was that 107-page document we were looking at earlier. By the way, socialism, if you take 500 quid from a worker and give £100 to 5 lazy people, you lose 1 vote but gain 5. This is the biggest pyramid scheme in history. It's called socialism. In other words, if you're a government introducing a massively unpopular series of plans and programs to take over this country, and the indigenous population won't vote you for it, then you simply import the people who will and agree to put them up. That's exactly what's happening. What you see going on in America right now, you're seeing mass deportations occurring in America. It's all been done it's been done in a civilized fashion. Basically what they say to illegal migrants, and again I get all the hate mail on it. This lady emailed me the other day. Just because they're here illegally doesn't make them criminals. Excuse me. So in America what they're doing, and they'll probably do the same thing here, is they're giving them they can download an app on their phones, which they all have, and they can agree to self-deport, in which case if they desire to come back into America in the future, then their application will be done through normal channels. You know, they may or may not get in. But if they have to be deported, they will never ever again come back to America. That's how they're doing it now. I think they're up to almost 4 million they've deported so far. Just sent them home, and the flights are going out all the time. I think if we look in this particular country, by the way, Iran, this is an Obama program. You're going to see this break very, very soon. And this has been the big deal with Iran, and that is they've been used. This all money goes to fund Hamas, Houthis, of course, Hezbollah, ISIS, the rest of them. In Britain, of course, literally every Western government, apart from the Trump administration, is actively destroying its country, implementing globalist and leftist agendas in lockstep to destroy the nation state, eradicating its native people's history and culture, and importing aggressive replacement populations from the third world. And that's been going on. You've got massive demonstrations. This is the awkward moment in Paris when the French government realizes they should have been fluoridating the water supply and dumbing everybody down. Here we go. How strange, all the fish in the English Channel belong to the EU, all the humans found in the English Channel belong to the UK. Thank you very much, we're okay about that. So what you see happening is this whole thing rumbling, it's through. Everyone's upset about it, but they're all saying, oh, we can't say anything about it at all. Everything is starting to reach a crunch point. Ireland especially.